Good morning, all of you. This is 11th class biology, lecture 4 of chapter 2. And today you will learn about kingdom fungi. This is third kingdom out of the 5 kingdoms given by R.H. Whitaker. So this is third kingdom fungi. So kingdom fungi is a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms, means the organisms which cannot prepare their own food. Fungi are cosmopolitan, means found everywhere. So these occur in air, water, soil, and on animals and plants. So these are found everywhere. They prefer to grow in warm and humid places where moisture is more and temperature is more. So on such places, fungi grow. Example: bread mold, orange rots, mushroom, toadstools. Here you can see fungi on the bread. Okay, that is called bread mold. Then orange rots, the fungi that destroy the oranges, mushroom, and toadstool. All these are examples of fungi. White spots on mustard leaves are due to a parasitic fungus. So here you can see these are mustard leaves and these white spots present on these leaves. This is a fungi, that is parasitic fungi. Okay. Now other characteristics are some fungi are source of antibiotics. Example, penicillium. So we can say all the fungi are not harmful for us. Some fungi are useful as well. For example, penicillium fungi. This is the source of antibiotic penicillin. Okay, this fungi penicillium is the source of antibiotic penicillin. Some unicellular fungi, for example yeast. Yeast is a single celled organism, that is a unicellular fungi, are used to make bread and beer. So yeast is used in baker's industry for making bread, and also it used for making beer by fermentation. Other fungi cause diseases in plants and animals. Example, wheat rust causing Puccinia. So this is one more example of harmful fungi that cause wheat rust in case of our crops. So that is example is Puccinia. So here you can see this is yeast fungi, that is unicellular. This is penicillium, which provides us antibiotic, and this is Puccinia. This is the fungi which cause wheat rust disease in wheat. Now except yeast, that is unicellular fungi, fungi are filamentous. Okay, they make a filament like structure like this. Their bodies consist of long, slender, thread like structure, and that is called hyphae. So you can say body of the fungi is called hyphae. And how that what is the structure of that body of that hyphae, you can say that is long, slender, and thread like structure. So all these are hyphae of the fungi. This is one hyphae, this is second hyphae, this is third one. So like this is a complete fungi, and these are separate hyphae of the fungi. The network of hyphae is known as mycelium. So this complete network of the hyphae is called mycelium. Okay, here you can see what is this complete network of hyphae. This is called mycelium. Some hyphae are continuous tubes filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. These are called cenocytic hyphae. So these hyphae are of different types. Okay, these are of two main types. So here you can see first this is cenocytic hyphae. Okay, in cenocytic hyphae there is no cross wall. This is a complete you can say continuous hyphae. Okay, and continuous tube is present here, and many nuclei are present in this tube. Okay, so this is multinucleate condition, you can say. Inside the cytoplasm, multinucleate condition is present, and such hyphae you can say continuous in which no cross wall is present and the continuous type of tubes are present with the multinucleate condition are called cenocytic hyphae. Others have septate or cross walls in hyphae. So here you can see in this hyphae these cross walls are present. Okay, this is divided into parts, and such type of hyphae are called septate hyphae. So here you can see cross walls are, these hyphae are divided. Here also you can see these hyphae are not continuous. Okay, these are divided like this. Okay, so which type of hyphae these are called? These are called septate of hyphae. Septate means septa. You can say cross wall. Okay, cross wall can also be called septa, and that's why based on that, on the basis of septa, their name is septate hyphae. Okay, so these are two type of hyphae which are found in fungi: septate hyphae and cenocytic hyphae. Fungal cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharides. This I have told you earlier that fungal cell wall is made up of chitin and also polysaccharides are present in some. Most fungi are saprophytes, means they feed on dead and decaying organic matter. They absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Okay, so how they feed on the dead organic matter? They absorb the soluble matter. Some are parasitic, which will live on the body of host. Some live as symbionts. Symbionts means in association with algae. So some fungi live in association with some other organism. Okay, symbionts mean where two organisms live in association with each other, and both the organisms get benefit of each other. For example, there is a association of algae and fungi, and that association is called lichen. Okay, and in this association both algae and fungi got benefit of each other. Okay, such an association is called symbiont. Such an association is also found in the roots of some higher plants. Okay, in the roots of some higher plants, fungi live in association, and that association is called mycorrhiza. And in that case also, both means fungi and the plant roots both get benefit of each other. So you can say fungi live as symbionts also with the algae as well as with the plants. Now let's talk about the reproduction of the fungi. So reproduction in fungi can be of vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction. Vegetative propagation in fungi can be due to fragmentation, where the different fragments of body will give rise to the new fungi. Then it can be by fission or it can be by budding. Then asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction in fungi occur by spores, and these spores are called conidia, sporangiospores or zoospores. So these three different kind of spores can be present in fungi. In different fungi, different spores will be present. Like in some there will be conidia, in some there will be sporangiospores, and some will have zoospores. So here you can see this is one of the fungi having conidia spores. Okay, this is a type of asexual reproduction in fungi. So this is the mycelium. You can say a fungi complete body of the fungi having different hyphae, and on these hyphae these spore like structure, these are conidia. When these conidia will get detached from here, these will germinate to give rise to new fungi. So this is asexual reproduction in fungi. Then sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in fungi also occur with the help of spores, but the spores are of different type. These spores can be oospores, ascospores or basidiospores. They are produced in distinct structure called fruiting bodies. Okay, these fruiting bodies are the structure like this. You might have seen this kind of fungi in rainy season. So this kind of structure is called fruiting bodies, where the spores are present. Okay, and these spores are sexual spores. These can be oospores, ascospores, or basidiospores. When these spores get detached, these will germinate to give the mycelium of a new fungi. Then let's talk about the sexual reproduction, how it is completed in case of fungi. So sexual cycle, or you can say the sexual reproduction in case of fungi involves 3 steps. First is plasmogamy. Plasmogamy. Plasmo means cytoplasm. Gamy means fusion. Right? So here what will happen? Fusion of the cytoplasm. Or you can, fusion of protoplasm between two motile or non-motile gametes. Motiles means gametes which can move, and non-motiles which cannot move. Okay, so here there will be fusion of the protoplasm of two gametes of the fungi. So because this is sexual reproduction, so obviously gametes will be there. Okay, and these gametes protoplasm will get fused first of all. Second step is karyogamy. In karyogamy, gamy means fusion, karyo means nucleus. Okay, so there will be fusion of two nuclei. Nuclei, plural word for the nucleus. Okay, so fusion of two nuclei is called karyogamy. When the gametes will come close to each other, first of all their protoplasm will get fused, and after the fusion of protoplasm, their nuclei will get fused, right? Then third step, what will happen when the gamete nuclei will fuse? What happen after the gamete fusion? Zygote is formed, right? So here also zygote will be formed after the fusion of two gametes. Now in this zygote, meiosis division will occur. Okay, so meiosis division occurs in zygote, resulting in haploid spores. Right? So here zygote will undergo meiosis division, and by meiosis division, meiosis is a type of division in which chromosome number becomes half. So here when the meiosis division will occur inside the zygote, haploid spores will be formed. Haploid spores means where the chromosome numbers become half. Okay, this zygote is a diploid structure, means having a, you can see, double set of the chromosomes, and when meiosis division occurs in this zygote, the chromosome number becomes half and the haploid spores will get formed. So here you see first of all the hyphae of the fungi. Okay, this hyphae of the fungi will produce the gamete. Between these two gametes, protoplasm will get fused and plasmogamy will occur. Then karyogamy occur, means fusion of two nuclei. After this, zygote will be formed, and this zygote then undergo meiosis division, and what will happen? Haploid spores will be formed, right? So this is you can say zygote is diploid, and the spores which will be formed are haploid. Now one more thing about the sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, two haploid hyphae come together and fuse. Right? In some fungi, fusion of two haploid cells immediately form diploid cells. But in some fungi, in other fungi like ascomycetes and basidomycetes, these are classes of fungi. I will discuss these also. At a dikaryotic stage or dikaryophase, n plus n, that is 2 nuclei per cell occurs. So what happens? In some fungi, after the fusion of the protoplasm, immediately nuclei will also get fused and will form a diploid cell. Like we represent the condition in gametes by n. Okay, n condition for the gamete. So when the gamete will get fused, n and by fusion they will form 2n. Okay, so diploid cell will be formed after the fusion of two haploid cells. But in some fungi, what happen? After the protoplasm fusion, nuclei doesn't fuse immediately. Okay, and due to that, what will happen? The two nuclei will be present within same cell, right? So dikaryotic stage, karyotic word is representing nuclei here. Di means two. So here two nuclei stage will be formed. Because these two nuclei will be present within same cell without fusion. Right? So this condition occur in some fungi. So this can also be called dikaryophase. So here what will happen? N plus N. N for one gamete nucleus and second N for second gamete nucleus. Like, so this condition will be formed, N plus N. So two nuclei per cells will be present here, right? So this condition, this dikaryotic stage or dikaryophase occur in some fungi like ascomycetes and basidiomycetes, not in all. Okay, such a condition is called a dikaryon. Later, parental nuclei fuse and the cell become diploid. So after some time, these will get fused and will give rise to a diploid cell like this, 2N. Okay, after some time these N plus N will get fused and will form the 2N condition. So a diploid cell will be formed. And what is that diploid cell? That is zygote. Okay, so that zygote will be formed after some time. Fungi form fruiting bodies in which reduction division occurs. Reduction division means meiosis division. Okay, so here fungi form fruiting bodies in which what is present? Zygote is present. That fruiting body is formed from the zygote. Now in that zygote, reduction division means meiosis occurs, leading to the formation of haploid spores. Now when these haploid spores will germinate, these will give rise to a new fungi. Now kingdom fungi, classes. Okay, so based on morphology of mycelium, means external structure of the mycelium, mode of spore formation, asexual or sexual spores are formed, and fruiting bodies, means which will give rise to the spores. Fungi are classified into various classes, and these are those four main classes of the fungi. So first is phycomycetes, second is ascomycetes, third is basidiomycetes, and fourth is deuteromycetes. Okay, so these four are classes of kingdom fungi. Now let's start with the first, phycomycetes. Phycomycetes are also called lower fungi because of their comparatively simpler structure. They occur in aquatic habitats and on decaying wood in moist and damp places. So what is their habitat? Aquatic conditions, means these can be found in water, on decaying wood, in moist and damp places, or as obligate parasite on plants. So these fungi are also present as the parasites on the plant. So you can say these are as parasites on the plant. So these can cause diseases in plants. The mycelium is aseptate. As I have told you about two types of hyphae, aseptate and cenocytic hyphae. So in case of phycomycetes, hyphae can be of aseptate or cenocytic type. So both type of hyphae are present. In some of the phycomycetes, aseptate hyphae is found, and in some cenocytic hyphae is found. So mycelium can be of both types. Examples of phycomycetes class of fungi is mucor, rhizopus. Rhizopus is called bread mold. The fungi that grow on the bread is called rhizopus. Okay, and albuzo. Albuzo is a parasitic fungi on mustard. Mustard that I shown you in the picture in the previous slide. That white spots on the mustard leaves. Here also you can see mustard leaves. These white spots. These are due to the fungi albuzo. Okay, this is a parasitic fungi albuzo. Here also. Now about the reproduction of phycomycetes. So asexual or sexual reproduction can occur in phycomycetes. If asexual reproduction occur, that takes place by zoospores or by aplanospores. So these two kinds of spores can be formed here for the asexual reproduction. Zoospores, those will be motile, and aplanospores, which will be non-motile. So these things also you need to remember, that which spores are motile and which are non-motile. So here two types of spores, zoospores and aplanospores. These are produced in sporangium, And here you can see this is a structure called sporangium. Okay, this bag-like structure is called sporangium, and inside this, these are structure having these flagella. Okay, these small thread-like structure are flagella. Okay, and these are zoospores. So with the help of these flagella, these can move, like here you can see. Okay, these are two flagella of the zoospores, and if the flagella is present, so obviously this is a motile spore. Then about the sexual reproduction, zygospores are formed by fusion of two gametes. So here what kind of spores are present for the sexual reproduction? Zygospores. And how these are formed? By the fusion of two gametes, because in sexual reproduction gamete fusion occur, right? These gametes are isogamous. Iso means similar, gametes means gametes. Okay, so when the similar type of gametes are present, that condition is called isogamous. And when the gametes are of different kind, that is called unisogamous. Uniso means different, gametes mean gametes. Okay, so different types of gametes means unisogamous condition. Or oogamous. Oogamous also, in this also, you can say this is a kind of unisogamous condition. Okay, here oogamous, where the female gamete is larger in size. Okay, when the female gamete is larger in size than the male gamete, that condition is called oogamous condition. Okay, so obviously if the female gamete is larger in size, it means that two gametes are dissimilar, right? So these three types of gametes can be found: isogamous, anisogamous, or oogamous. The next class of fungi is ascomycetes. Ascomycetes can have unicellular fungi or multicellular fungi. And what is example of unicellular fungi here? Yeast. And multicellular fungi is penicillium. Also they are saprophytic, decomposers, parasitic, or coprophilous. So saprophytic, you know, which which absorb the organic matter from the dead and decaying substance. Then decomposers, which decompose the dead and decaying matter. Parasitic, which live on the body of host. And coprophilous. Coprophilous mode of nutrition means the organisms which grow on the dung. Okay, so they get their nutrition from the dung. So these fungi can get their nutrition from dung as well. Mycelium is branched and septate. Okay, so here in case of ascomycetes, mycelium is always septate. So here you can see these are hyphae. Okay, this complete structure is mycelium, and these are hyphae, and here you can see the cross walls. So these are septate hyphae, and this is structure of penicillium. And now about the asexual reproduction of ascomycetes. So asexual reproduction in ascomycetes occur by conidia formation. Conidia are a type of asexual spores. Okay, and these are non-motile spores. So here you can see these structures, conidia. These are asexual spores which are non-motile. So conidia are produced exogenously. Exogenously means outside. Okay, as I told you in the previous class, that Phycomycetes class of the fungi, I told you that zoospores are formed inside the zoosporangium, right? So those were formed endogenously, means inside any structure those were forming. But here you can see these conidia are forming on these you can say on this structure, that is conidiophore, right? So this is forming outside. So we can say exogenously these are produced. Okay, and on the special mycelium called conidiophore. And on which structure these are producing? These hyphae on which the conidia are produced are called conidiophore. Conidia germinate to produce mycelium. Now when these conidia will get separate from the conidiophore and will fall, these will germinate and will give rise to a new mycelium of the penicillium. This is penicillium. Okay, these conidia are formed in case of penicillium. Now let's talk about the sexual reproduction of ascomycetes. So in ascomycetes, sexual reproduction occur by ascospores. As the name is matching, ascomycetes. So what kind of spores will be there? Ascospores. Okay, so it's easy to remember, to keep remember it, ascospores in ascomycetes. Okay, so these ascospores are for sexual reproduction, and these ascospores are produced endogenously, means inside a sac-like structure, and that sac-like structure is called asci. And you can say asci is a plural form. In singular form we will say ascus, right? Asci are arranged to form ascocarp. So many such asci will get arranged and will form ascocarps. And what is that ascocarp? That is a fruiting bodies. As I have told you that fruiting bodies are the structure in case of fungi which give rise to the sexual spores. So this is the fruiting body, okay, ascocarp, which give rise to different spores for the formation of new fungi, right? Some examples of ascomycetes are Aspergillus, Claviceps and Neurospora. Here you can see Neurospora, okay. Neurospora is used in biochemical and genetic work. So what is used of this use of this Neurospora? This is not a harmful fungi. This is used in biochemical and genetic work. Means inside the laboratories for the research work it is used. Okay, when the research on genes is done to know about the different functions of genes, structure of genes, then this Neurospora is used. Many members like morels and buffels are edible, means these can be eaten. Okay, edible means these can be eaten, and are delicacies. So delicacies you can say dishes. So these are used as the delicacies are dishes which are eaten after the meal. Okay, so these are used as special dishes. Then next class of fungi is basidiomycetes, and basidiomycetes includes mushrooms, bracket fungi or puff balls. Okay, they grow on soil, on logs, means on the wood, and on tree stumps, and in living plant bodies as parasite. And when these grow on the living plant bodies, these are called rust and smarts. Mycelium is branched and septate. So mycelium in case of basidiomycetes is always branched and septate. The asexual spores are generally not found, means reproduction, asexual type of reproduction is not found in basidiomycetes, but vegetative reproduction by fragmentation is common. So which type of reproduction occur here? Vegetative type. Sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy occurs by fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells. So here sex organs are not present, but still plasmogamy means fusion of protoplasm occurs. How? By the fusion of vegetative or somatic cells of different strains of genotypes, of different strains or genotypes. So here two different hyphae of the fungi will fuse together to form, means their protoplasm will get fused, and the resultant structure is dikaryotic. Dikaryotic means, as I told you, the general things about the sexual reproduction, dikaryotic phase in which two nuclei are present in same cell. So n plus n condition, that is dikaryotic phase. Okay, so it gives rise to basidium. So when this dikaryotic condition give rise to basidium here. Okay, karyogamy and meiosis. Karyogamy means fusion of nuclei. So fusion of nuclei occur, then zygote will be formed, and after that meiosis occur. Okay, so karyogamy and meiosis in zygote occur in basidium, producing four type of basidiospores. So this in this basidium, karyogamy and meiosis division will occur. Okay, and four types of spores will be produced. These spores produced from the basidium will be called, here also the name is matching with the name of the class, like basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes, basidium will form. Okay, and from basidium, which type of spores? Basidiospores will be formed. Okay, now these basidiospores are produced exogenously, means over the means on the upper side of this structure basidium, right? Now basidia are arranged in fruiting bodies. Okay, basidium is singular form. When many basidium will be present, means plural form of the basidium will be basidia. Okay, these basidia are arranged to form a fruiting body, as the many asci arranged to form the fruiting bodies. Okay, likewise here also many basidia are arranged to form a fruiting body, and that fruiting body is called here basidiocarp. Okay, many asci form ascocarp, and here also many basidia form basidiocarp, right? Example of basidiomycetes is agaricus, that is called mushroom, Eustylego, that is called smut, and Puccinia, that is called rust fungus. Now last class of fungi is deuteriomycetes. Deuteriomycetes are commonly known as imperfect fungi because only their asexual or vegetative phases are known, because sexual cycle of these fungi is not known. Only their asexual or vegetative phases are known. That's why these are called imperfect fungi. These are not called perfect fungi because of absence of sexual stage in their life cycle. When perfect, or you can say sexual stages, were discovered, they were often moved to ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Okay, in the same fungi, means in the deuteriomycetes, when we talk about the sexual stages, then their characteristics becomes more similar to the classes ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. So we can say that when the sexual stages were discovered, they moved to the ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. We cannot say at that time that these are deuteromycetes because their characteristics resemble to the these classes of the fungi. Okay, so that's why these fungi are called imperfect fungi. It is also possible that the asexual and vegetative stage have been given one name and placed under deuteriomycetes, right? So you can say that this is not a separate class of the fungi. Deuteromycetes is not a separate class of fungi. Means the asexual stage of the ascomycetes and of the basidiomycete is called deuteriomycetes, right? Means their asexual stage can be called deuteromycetes. Okay, it is possible means what is the origin of this deuteromycetes? It has originated like this, it might be originated like this. So, and the sexual stage another and placed under another class. Okay, so when these enter into sexual stage, these are called ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. When the linkages were established, the fungi were correctly identified and moved out of deuteromycetes. Now deuteromycetes reproduce only by asexual spores, and what kind of asexual spores are formed here? Conidia. Okay, conidia are a type of non-motile spores. Mycelium is septate, means their hyphae from which mycelium is formed is septate and branched. Some are sporophytes or parasites. So their mode of nutrition is sporophytic or parasitic. Majority are decomposers of litter and help in mineral cycling. Okay, so when the dead and decaying organic matter, that can be called litter from the plant or animal. Okay, dead matter, when it is decomposed, then the important minerals present inside that litter is decomposed. Okay, and that is a part of mineral cycling. Okay, so you can say these fungi help in mineral cycling. Example of some deuteromycetes are Alternaria, Collectotrichum and Trichoderma. So these are Alternaria, Collectotrichum and Trichoderma. These are examples of deuteromycetes. I hope today's topic is clear to you, and based on that your homework is NCERT question number 9, and that question is differentiate different classes of fungi. Okay, so all the 4 classes of fungi you need to differentiate here, and one more extra question you need to do, explain sexual reproduction in fungi. That is very important. So write it inside your in your notebook. Explain about the sexual reproduction of fungi. Now let's discuss the homework solution of previous lecture. I gave question number 3 of NCERT, that is, what is the nature of cell walls in diatoms. So the cell walls of diatoms are made up of silica, okay, and these are indestructible structure. Their cell wall construction is known as frustule. It consists of two thin overlapping shells. So how this frustule is called? Because of the presence of two thin overlapping shells, and these thin overlapping cells can fit with each other as a soap box. When the diatoms die, the silica wall that is indestructible, it will get deposit in the form of diatomaceous earth, and this diatomaceous earth is very soft and quite inert. It can be used for the filtration of oils, sugars, and for other industrial purposes also. Now question number 4 is, find out what do the terms algal bloom and red tides signify. So algal bloom refers to an increase in the population of algae, mainly which algae? That is blue-green algae. So this is not an algae, in fact, what is that? Cyanobacteria, right? That is blue-green in color, right? So blue-green algae in water, increased amount of this blue-green algae in water is called algal bloom, which result in discoloration of the water body, and this causes an increase in biological oxygen demand also. Okay, about biological oxygen demand you will study in class 12th. So what happen here? Oxygen deficiency will occur for the other aquatic organisms, okay, due to biochemical oxygen demand. Oxygen amount will be deficient for other aquatic animals, which will result in the death of fishes and other aquatic animals. Now what is red tide? Red tide are caused by red dinoflagellates, and I gave you one example of red dinoflagellate, that is goniolax, right? That goniolax multiply rapidly, okay, and because of this red color, the sea will appear red in color. They release large number of toxins in water that can cause death of a large number of fishes. Now next question is, describe briefly 4 major groups of protozoa. And protozoa are microscopic unicellular protists. They are divided into 4 major groups. Those are amoeboid protozoa. Example is amoeba, right? They are unicellular, jelly-like protozoa, and these are found in fresh water or in marine water, that is sea water. Have temporarily protoplasmic outgrowths, okay, and their protoplasmic outgrowths are called pseudopodia, that is false feet. These false feet or pseudopodia help in movement and capturing of prey, and they include free living forms such as amoeba or parasitic forms such as entamoeba. Now next class is flagellated protozoa, in which flagella will be present, okay, so these are non-photosynthetic flagellates without a cell wall. They possess flagella for locomotion and capturing of prey. They include parasitic forms such as trypanosoma, which cause sleeping sickness disease in humans. Next class is ciliated protozoa. Those are also called ciliates. So here cilia will be present all over the body. They are aquatic individuals that form a large group of protozoa, right? Their characteristic feature is the presence of numerous cilia on the body and the presence of 2 types of nuclei. I hope you know the example of it. Just recall it in your mind, where the cilia are present all over the body and two types of nuclei are present. Paramecium, right? So next is sporozoans. They include disease causing endoparasites. Endoparasites means the parasite which live inside the body, okay, endo, and other pathogens, okay. They are uninucleate, means single nucleus is present, and their body is covered by a pellicle membrane that is made up of protein. So cell wall is absent here. What is present? Pellicle, that is protein membrane is present here. They do not possess cilia or flagella, right? They include the malaria causing parasite, that is Plasmodium.